Our guests are actor, director Fabien Frankel. Hello.
Hello.
Cinematographer Natasha Duursmą.
Hello.
And producer Max Frankel.
Hi.
Hello. Hi. Nice to see you.
Nice
Everything okay?
Yeah, very good.
Doing well in Toruń in Poland?
We're doing well. You know, we're a little worse for wear. I drank a few too many last night. But
water? You mean too many water?
Too many water. Too hydrated.
Yeah.
And definitely not strong whiskey sours and Polish beer. But you know, we're getting through.
Good.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Fabien, I want to ask you about transitioning from being mainly an actor to directing, because from what I understand, the video clip, the music video you're here with, Wife Once by Memory of Speke, is your first directing job.
Yes.
So did that transition go smoothly for you? Did you find that maybe your experience as an actor actually helped you, you know, just being on the set actually before and observing, for example, the other directors working?
Yeah, well, sadly, it's my first complete experience. I tried to make a short film when I was about 18 that's just a disaster in every way, and I never ended up finishing it. But thankfully, I think for the world not to have to see that. But I think it did. I don't know how much acting's helped me with directing. I suppose what it does do is it gives you an understanding of what you don't want to do, what you think doesn't work, and that I think is very useful. And I suppose what I think more interestingly, the directing has given me a lot more insight into acting and how sort of I suppose smaller part the acting of it. You know, in your head as an actor, you think that that what you have to do, your 5 minutes, is so paramount to this whole production. But what you're suddenly so acutely aware of as a director is just how many cooks there are in this kitchen, like trying to make everything happen so that for those 5 minutes that you're acting, you know, things are ready. And it just gave me a great respect for crew. I suppose not that I didn't already, but I suppose a more profound respect for crew. And
Natasha, this is not your first music video. You did a couple before. Is that an art form you enjoy in terms of? Because I always felt that music videos are a great platform to actually do something creative, to even experiment a bit, because it's a short form. It's not a big budget, you know, Hollywood blockbuster. Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, so much. I think it's such a collaborative process. Maybe in like short form advertising, you know, there's a kind of strict hierarchy of, you know, it's about the brand, but in music videos, like, you're able to just like creatively input ideas, and it's like everyone's got a painting brush stroke, and it's like the styling and the production design. It is like a mini movie, and and your restraints is the track, and you're like trying to put images to the lyrics, and I think that's so much fun. Yeah.
Max, as the producer of this music video, like I asked Fabien about, you know, being director for the first time, you're also as a producer, it is you're sort of a fresh foray for you.
Yeah.
Do you actually have a understanding already about what the producer role is, and what do you actually want to do as a producer?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I guess it started for me when I did a master's in film production a couple of years ago, which gave me that kind of insight knowledge on what production is, because I think you're almost overseeing so many different elements of this world. And then from then, I did a couple short films, and then some commercials, and then I guess this was one of the biggest projects I worked on producing myself, and I had an amazing producing partner called Seb Fuchs, who also came on board and helped me helm the project. But it's interesting because you really are kind of like managing your brother, making sure he has what he needs, you know, the camera team, then you've got, you know, costumes, hair and makeup and production design. So it's kind of bringing all these elements into one. But I guess as I grow, for me, I'm very interested in development, the creative side of producing, and kind of helping kind of lift projects off the ground, or helping, you know, work with writers and creating the right project. So I think that's where it lies for me, and hopefully I can get there.
Was it easy to actually combine the family relationship with
weirdly it was.
Yeah, it was. It was
easier than we thought.
Yeah, it was easier than we thought.
Because that can be true.
100%.
And also for you, especially, to be in the middle of it.
We were fighting each other in the pod.
Guys, come on, don't fight yourself.
No, we were really.
Where are your parents?
Exactly. No, we were really lucky. I think because we're so close and we're both in the industry, I think it made working together a lot easier. And I guess, I think it was interesting also to watch Fabien as a director, having been an actor, his approach to working with talent from a producer's point of view was a great learning insight, because I think he was so calm and patient with them. And I think as a producer sometimes, I mean, I'm not so much like that, but obviously some people in production are, it's time, we need to rush things. But it was really nice to see how he worked with the band and gave them the time and the know-how of how to.
I imagine you concur that actually working with Fabien as a director was good.
Yeah, it was amazing. I think it was like music videos are always so time conscious, and like you're always running behind, and it's like super hectic. It was maybe fun for you to experience that side, not just like walking on and then.
Yeah. Well, I think because of the nature of the fact that we didn't have a music studio giving us money to make this video, we did it ourselves. We did it on our own dime, and I suppose that creates its own kind of kettle of problems, or not problems, but certainly like an option for solutions. But we shot the whole thing in a day, which I think, if you see it, I mean, I would have loved to have done like a day for each one of the sort of stories, but the fact that we managed to do it in a day, and our camera didn't arrive.
Actually, pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was almost a 20-hour day.
Our camera didn't arrive. Like, we didn't have a camera for the first 4 hours of the day, so we were just upstairs rehearsing, being when the camera gets here, it's go. But yeah, we did it. It was
I guess it's all problematic in a way that, you had to do it in a day, you didn't have a big budget, but also I think some kind of independence and creative freedom also comes with it. I guess that's totally a plus.
Exactly.
It's a plus. When I talk to you about the concept for this video, the visual concept and the staging, because I think it's really amazing. And first of all, the song is very good. And I think that in the music video, that's actually pretty important. Yeah. But the fact that you managed to create these different stories, and also with this really striking visual idea for it. So I want to ask first you, Fabien, about the process of actually the concept of it. How did you come with? How did it come about, and what was the main idea here?
Well, I think it was a combination of things. I'd seen Tegan perform, and I knew that she was the proper actor. I mean, that there was no fear for me of I could really. Not that I would push her, but I could put obstacles in front of her, and I had no fear that she'd be able to carry the whole video, which she really does, with the help of Jack and Sarouche and the rest of the cast, but it really is Tegan. And I think the second thing is I'd always had a fixation with masks, since I was a kid. I have a lot of masks at home. I talked about it earlier, but I really I don't know what it is. I remember going to Venice and seeing these huge masks with kind of feather-like things sticking out of them, and I'd always had this idea of doing something with masks. And then I heard the song, and it just felt, I don't know why, it just felt like this was the thing. This was the time I'd be able to do it. And I know there's obviously a Kubrickian element to it.
Kubrick, and also thought about Peter Greenaway in a way.
Yeah, well, yeah, great
Watching that video.
Yeah. Yeah, and we looked at and Tasha, that was a lot of Tasha's ideas. Was we looked at a lot of paintings. Tasha and Tegan had both, who's the singer, had both sort of pointed out paintings, and it feeling very much like a sort of coming to life of a painting. So I don't know, Tegan can probably speak on that.
I want to ask you also about that, but also about lighting, because it's interesting. There are candle lights, and the rest of it is dark. So I'm really interested in how, from a cinematographer point of view, how did you achieve that? Because it's not an easy source of light to work with.
No, but it's the best source of light to work with. Yeah. No, I think we were looking at a lot of paintings, like Caravaggio, that end sequence is like a moving tableau, and when you get given kind of the creative deck and you're seeing the costumes and the styling, my mind was automatically going to Barry Lyndon and working with candlelight, and I was doing lots of research, and especially when you go underneath the table, you're not having, there's no motivational light when they've got tablecloth over it. So okay, how can we kind of light up each person? And Columba, the production designer, was amazing, and we managed to get like little oil lamps, and each person had their own source of light. And yeah, I think it's so nice that you can have kind of light in the frame that is creating all the depth, and there's that dark and light element to it.
Yeah, and did it use any other source?
We did have
light?
some light, some tungsten light, especially for the end. We had like kind of a big source of tungsten light. We were using...
so many words I'd never heard of until I met Natasha. Like, that phrase, I'd be like, I have no idea what that is, but that sounds great. That sounds like what we should do.
Yeah. Well, you that's why you get a good cinematographer.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
She'd be like, this is how it's going to be. I'd be like, that looks right to me now. This looks good.
And the technical side, I will use this. I had no idea what you told me. But it sounds great.
You would say stuff like that, and I'd be like, I don't know. I mean, I think. Right.
Fabien would call me up and be like, so we need to like kind of crane over this table. Well, you wouldn't even say crane. You'd be like, we want the camera to move over the table. And in my head, I was like, okay, so we need a crane, Fabien. And then also we need to build a table that's big enough to put all our people in and the camera.
Right, the table, the building of the table was its own.
And then I get a call going, we need this much money. We need a crane. We need it now. We need a table. And I'm going, guys, I don't think you realize our budget it's not aligned for any of this.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you, actually, that from a producer's point of view, I think this one-day shoot on a real small budget and actually trying to come up with solutions for the creative ideas to actually flourish would have been challenging.
Yeah, it was challenging.
I guess it was challenging, yeah.
There was so much, we had to really get everything in place, production design, everything needed to work like clockwork except the camera arriving on time. But so I think it was really just making sure that all up the table was built, that it was there the day before. So we worked with London Film Studios around Enfield, and they gave us, they were super generous of us and really helped us and let us come in a day before to help bring in equipment. So that needed to work like clockwork. And then obviously, timing was paramount on the day to make sure that we could start filming at this time, which unfortunately was delayed, but then they gave them time to rehearse. And I guess, we rented equipment from Panavision, who were also really helpful in allowing us to work for the budget we had, because obviously we're not, this is, independently financed. There was no production behind it. So all the people who kind of helped us, whether it was, the camera teams or the equipment rental houses, they all kind of helped in giving us the best rates or almost lending us or giving us stuff for free, so we're really privileged and thankful to them. Yeah,
this is actually the thing you have to rely on while making a very independent, be it a music video or a short film or even feature film.
Totally.
You rely on actually people being generous to you, lending you equipment. Or I know I have a friend who has Steadicam or whatever. So I guess this was something also that helped you.
Yeah, well, it's just and that's why I think film is the truest form of collaboration in art. I really do think that there is no medium like it. Not that the other mediums are any less special, because they're not. But I really think that film is at its core so unbelievably collaborative, and that felt really echoed in our whole experience of making this film. I think we felt like we were making a film. That's really what it felt like. And when we pitched the idea to all the different people that helped us, we got all of our props were free. Every single prop that we used was given to us by a prop house. Our costumes were given to us for almost no cost at all. So we got very lucky.
I just imagine poor Max going in a day, one day, every 2 hours receiving a phone call. We need also this.
Yeah, it was literally we don't have this.
He'd call me sometimes and be like, buddy, I think we need a chicken on the table.
I did. At one point I was like, I don't know what, obsessed with a banquet pig. Those pigs with the apples.
With the apple.
And then I was like, God, we need one of those.
He was calling me bro, we have to get one. And I was like, buddy, we're shooting this tomorrow.
I know. It just came in my mind. I was like, we need it. But I think it probably worked better with the techno crane.
He was probably right. Wouldn't be cool, to be fair.
I suppose that, Natasha, that if there was a big pig with an apple in it in the middle of a table, it would have made the crane shot more difficult.
Yeah, for sure.
She'd have figured it out.
Yeah,
we'll use that tungsten thing.
Yeah. I loved it when you were like, so I really want the camera to feel like it's on a rocking ship. And I was like, cool, let's go.
Cool, that's cool. Now I just need
let's get that ahead.
Actually, 2 hours to invent this, but in 10 minutes.
Exactly.
But I also, a last thing I want to ask you is about the collaboration with the artist, Memory of Speke, the music, the musicians, and the songwriters. What was it? Did they have any creative input into the idea? Did you pitch them the idea for the video? How did it work?
Yeah, they had loads of it. I mean, they had loads of input. Tegan specific. I mean, Luca as well, obviously. But they're really old friends of mine. We grew up together. So I pitched them the idea, and they were just all about it. And I remember we went round to Tegan's apartment in King's Cross, and we sat for about 6 hours, and we just walked through every beat of what it would be. And then Tegan and Luca would help expand whatever idea that I had, or make it feel fully fledged, and then help us find a way to incorporate, because all the band are in the video, which was really important, I think, that it felt that way. And so, they were hugely, I mean, Tegan's sister was our production designer. Tegan's brother is in the band. So, I mean, it was a true family affair. Yeah. The whole thing was, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.